Oh, got me. Thanks, man. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Fix My Game. Here today with Ethan Crelinsten. So much pressure. Give me a minute, we'll be right back. All right, we're back here at Fix My Game, and as you saw from the rounds, Ethan really had some great crushing pressure from the top, really controlled my upper body and made it difficult for me to really do anything. But let's jump into that stuff. Ethan, what can you show me about passing?
Yeah, so I noticed a few things when I'm going into passing, especially in our round.
It's got that slippery tape.
Yeah, it's like a strength over there.
Yeah.
So one thing I try and set up, you were using that De La Riva hook pretty well, and you were cutting that angle really well. So I was trying to crush that angle and then feed this hook in and then start to play in from here. What I like to do from this spot here is as your arms are inside, sort of pushing me away, if my head is up here, not above yours, not like on the same plane as yours, then you could hold me off pretty easily. What I try and do is dig my toes into the mat and keep pushing me off here. I try to bring my head a little bit over yours and over that far shoulder here, so it makes your hook harder to hold on to, and it starts to make your arms carry more of my upper body
You
weight.
are heavier, yeah.
So now, once I feel you're carrying my weight, I start to raise my hips and lower my head. Keep holding me up here. So I could start to feed your knees to one side, turn my chest so it makes it harder for you to push on my upper body.
I mean, it's really heavy.
Yeah, and it's getting heavier as I walk my feet to the outside, or sorry, to the inside, and then I give one last sort of shuck to let your knee slide by. And now here we're in a good spot, not to immediately pass, there's still a little more work we have to do, but it makes it a lot harder for you to hold me off, and it sort of gets your knees and feet out of the way here. So, once again, we step in. So when we were rolling, you like this outside De La Riva guard a lot. So I'm trying to stick that thumb in. Yeah, keep it tight here. I'm trying to stick that thumb in your shin, turn my toes towards you, stuff this hook in, and then dive my hands to the mat here, and then start to get you carrying my weight. Once I feel like you're starting to hold me up here, I need to worry about this hook. So yeah, keep that hook in tight. I'm gonna start to raise my legs here and start to turn my chest and walk my body out towards my left. So it does a few things. It makes it harder for you to hold me up. It makes it harder for you to keep that De La Riva hook in. And it makes it so I can start to feed your knees to one side. Once I feel like your knee is building up pressure on my rib cage there, I give one last sort of hamstring extension, and I turn my chest towards the inside, making it harder for your knees to hold me up and making it harder for your hands to hold me up. And now from here we have a number of options. We could post on the knee, back step. We could cross face and graduate straight to mount. You could do a number of things. So one thing I was trying to do when pressuring into the guard is get you carrying my weight a lot and get your knees folded to one side and then turn my chest so your hands don't really have a flat surface to push on.
One detail that I really noticed when you were showing me there and also in the round was when you come over and you start to twist initially, this arm is useless almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like I really have not a good angle anymore.
There's not really anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
What guys do sometimes is they take an underhook here.
Right.
Yeah, and now as I start to turn more to this side, they can shuck this by sometimes and then post. Yeah, and that's a good option. So we could like go into follow-ups from there. When I feel that underhook start to come in here, what we can do is post and then back step off towards the side of the underhook. So this underhook starts to become their own liability. It gives me access to a crossface. I can just hip switch straight past the guard. So when I feel like, well, like you're starting your post, you feel that post is starting to become useless. So they opt for an underhook. We just dive our hips off to the side, post here next to the head, and then come down for a crossface with our other hand, pushing on the thighs, making his knees face away from us. So when I start to feel that underhook sort of shoot to life, start to hip switch off to that side. So we come in here, we post, and I feel that underhook come in. I drop my feet off the guard here, post on that shin, start to drop my hips, my chest to his hips and his chest, get that crossface in, and now here we're in a good spot to pass. So what I do is I turn my hip off to the side, and I start to drag my hamstring back and walk my right quad forward. Now I hollow body and let your knee drive across. That's gonna be the most important part of this move here. So we lean into the guard, the guy's pushing, yeah. We bring our hips up, try to keep that knee flared. Right, try to keep that knee flared, yeah, exactly. I just take my left leg back, my right leg forward, and I drag your knee across, and then we drop down.
So this is an okay starting position?
Yeah, this is okay. You're here, you're gonna start to get elevated, so you don't wanna come that, yeah, you wanna start from here. Good, feet together, good. Now see how my knee's still flared? Now freeze here. See how my knee is, the only thing stopping it is basically your rib cage, right? So if you hollow body, just, yeah, you see how you can guide it across? Yeah, good. Nice. Now what I gotta get good at is if you push me around here a bit, see how I can use my feet and my hands to keep myself in this position. So it's a little unstable if you're in the wrong initial position or if your hands and feet don't answer. So I sit my hips low, I make sure my weight is sort of evenly distributed into my left shin, my two hands, and my right foot. Right? So now when you go to push me around, yep. We can sort of answer by extending our base one way or the other.
Let me try, because that I feel like is the piece of this puzzle that I'm missing.
That first part, just getting comfortable in there is super important.
Here.
Yeah, good. So well, for now the knee is still flared. Your hands are in the mat. Good. So now let's just move around a little bit. Yeah. It's just getting comfortable there and keeping this pin, right? Go again, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Is it a little better?
Well, definitely a little better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like I did come down a little bit in my posture. I was trying to sit too high, I think.
Yeah, you have to find that sweet spot where you're not too low where the guy can just sit up, and you're not too high where the guy can just elevate you overhead.
Awesome. That's kind of the beginning of like some of the float passing stuff, right? For people at home.
Yeah. It's a good way to sort of get comfortable entering into a position where you're about to float pass.
Perfect.
Yeah. One thing we could sort of just another cool pass to go over when we're in here, we clear that De La Riva hook. One thing I can do again is just kick that leg back and drop straight to sort of knee on belly or side control right there. So just sort of, you filming now? Okay. So just sort of like skipping over a bunch of details, just driving that leg back. Yeah, sort of like a good way to fire off the pass and good way to keep the guy under pressure here. So let's say we just stop some movement, we turn our hips to the outside, explosively turn our hips to the inside, and drop our hips to his, and now we're in a good spot to secure a pin or start to work submissions if the guy overcommits to regard. So we're here, we're in a good crossface. Common reaction you were doing, which is very, very normal, is you're trying to bring your hand, stopping this bicep. Exactly. Once I feel this bicep, this frame, sorry, on my bicep, because you don't want to be cross-faced here, right? So you start to frame heavy on my bicep, you start to push it away. I'm going to raise this bicep to feed my hip under your elbow, similar to what Craig was showing earlier. So we're in side control here, and we're trying to cross-face the guy. The guy's framing heavy, he's pushing my bicep away. I elevate my bicep to give room for that hip and knee to slide under. Now, this is also a very common thing here for them to frame on your head. If they don't frame, then we could get in tight here and start to close the distance even further. So they're always gonna work this hand inside. So you're framing heavy, you're trying to push me off. Another thing we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our head to give my left arm room to slide under his elbow. So once again, we just passed and his frames come in, okay? I can't just shoot my hips under this knee. under this elbow, sorry. So I start to threaten the crossface frame, push away my bicep. I elevate his frame using that bicep. And now I elevate this frame using my neck, and I slide my other bicep underneath. Now, I walk under, tuck in my right shoelaces, and I start to cinch this bicep here a little closer to his head. I lean up, start knee on belly, adjust my bicep further under his tricep, and then we're in a full high mount here with our 2 knees underneath his 2 elbows. So let's look at that again. Basically, the goal is to go from side control to a mount where we're under both arms. So we just passed, and he has full inside position here with his upper body. We start by elevating 1, elevating 2, and we get that knee on belly. Now it's important, I can't just right away jump to mount here. He's gonna get his biceps and wrist back inside here. So I cinch my bicep here closer to his head, and I cinch my hip here closer to his armpit. Now, I make sure my bicep is right up at his elbow here, not low at his tricep. If you're strong, retracting your elbow down, it's gonna be hard, so retract your elbow down strong. I can bring my bicep down to the end of the lever here, and now I can reach around and grab my own elbow. And step over, and now we're in a good high mount. Beautiful. Let's give that one a go. Yeah, go for it. Exactly. If I don't know really what's going on here and I just sort of push randomly, you're going to get this head and arm and you're going to be...
Sure. One question, because I couldn't really see because of the crossface. What is this like? Is it straight? Is it up? What are you doing
Knee
here?
is on the mat.
Knee's on the mat.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So basically your knee is going to be ready to slide underneath this elbow. So if I'm just in framing here tight, then you can crossface me. Exactly. So yeah, crossface me. So my job is to get rid of that crossface.
And as you do that, I come under?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna be framing like so. Now, my elbow's inside, you're gonna raise this bicep, and now bring your knee in. Yeah, good. And now see how this frame is sort of useless now? It doesn't really do much.
Trapped.
Exactly. So now, it's your job is to get underneath this elbow. So if you don't do anything here, my elbow's gonna be tight. Use this, I'm framing and I'm anchoring my fingers on your neck. So if you bring your head over to my right, I'm forced to follow you.
Look at that. And then you follow up with this left hand as well?
Now, what you want to do, see how your bicep is sort of high on my tricep? If you try to stop my elbow from going down, my right elbow from going down, right? See, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Bring your bicep to the end of my elbow here. Now I'm going to try with that same force and just raise my elbow over my head here. By bring your head over mine. Exactly. Good.
You slide into mount, same one.
Right, slide into mount, yeah, and now you have my 2 elbows above your 2 knees, and we're in a good high mount. But what I would do now is take your right fingers, wrap around your left elbow.
My left elbow.
Yes, exactly. You sort of anchor this elbow up above my head.
Got it.
Right?
Do you find that this limits your options, or are you just kind of cooking a guy? What's the motive here?
So the motive is to look, starting to look for either S-mount arm bars, high triangles.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a good option.
Okay.
Back takes are also super high percentage there. Nice. Get under one elbow, get under the other, and we start to walk ourselves up. We clear his frames, and now here we have 2 arms above his. So a good sort of quick submission here would be to slide one knee up and start to turn my other leg into sort of S-mount, high S-mount here with my 2 legs right underneath his armpit. And now here we can wrap up both arms, shoot this leg over, and now here we're in great positions to start to look for tight arm bars. So let's see that again. So we're in here with our high mount with our elbows around his 2 elbows. We slide our weight off to my right, and I go into a high S mount here. Now I start to pin his shoulders to the mat, get my hands free, post my left hand, and start to step over his head. Now we can take our other hand, clear, and start to bridge into good arm bars there. It's a lot of pressure.
So heavy.
All that barbecue. So you're gonna bring this bicep up, and now your knee slides in. Nice.
Boom. Look at that turn. Separate and finish. Beautiful. Lots of good details there. And then you said there's also
back
options
takes
for the back.
Yes.
Let's check them out.
guard. We get rid of one frame, second frame, we step over, we make sure here, this is one thing that I think you were missing out. If I just go straight up to mount here, I'm losing that elbow, so I want to drop my elbow back in my back pocket and recollect your elbow. So here we just brought the frame up, we drop our arm back to our pocket here, and we recollect this elbow. Now we cinch this arm above, getting our bicep right here at the elbow, not at the tricep. Bicep up to the elbow, and we could grab our own elbow, and then we're in a good high mount here. Now, for this back take, we're gonna reach around with my my left fingers, reach around for his elbow, sit around the corner, get our other hand here at his armpit, and we're gonna sit back to our left, reach around here, and we're in a good spot to get 2 underhooks, body lock, and secure the back. We just passed. We're trying to cross face. He's framing here. I elevate that frame using my bicep. Now here, I get rid of this elbow using my neck. I tuck in my shoelaces here, give myself the flexibility to step all the way over. Now I recollect this elbow, cinch this elbow above his head, and now here we're in a good high mount. Now here, I reach through with my left fingers to his tricep to stop this elbow from exploding downwards to the mat exactly and giving himself a frame on my hips. I turn myself a little bit to get his back off the mat, and I start to reach through here to his armpit. I put my knee above his head, and we're in that sort of similar position to S-mount. And now everything over to my left-hand side. I switch my legs to a body triangle, and I reach around for a body lock, 2 underhooks. Beautiful.
All right. I've managed to pass Ethan's guard. Good start to the whole session here. Come up, under, and mount, and then recapture.
Yeah, wait. You want to make sure you get behind this wrist here. So you throw your hand in your back pocket, and you want to get under my elbow here. Yeah, that's it.
One more time. So, boom, back under the wrist. No, knee comes up, S mount, and then.
Okay, now, you want to stay low, so keep your head low to the mat. Exactly, yeah. And you want to make sure when you're going for the back here that you get around my 2 elbows, either way, in either direction that you get. So you want to collect 1, and now, when you reach through to take my back, so if you reach around for this elbow, that means you're going to be taking my back towards my left-hand side, right? So you're going to sit around to that side.
Like this?
Exactly. Now, before you sit around, see how you're grabbing my head right now?
Yeah.
You want to grab my armpit where my rash guard is.
Here.
Underneath? Yeah, that's much better. Now, tuck in your right knee underneath my head here. And now everything's gonna go over to your left-hand side. Good, and now you just wanna reach underneath both arms. Yeah, exactly.
One more try. All right, guys, thanks for watching another episode of Fix My Game. To round out this episode, we are going to do a little positional sparring, attacking the turtle. Ethan, thank you so much. No problem, man. Great time. Let's do it. All right. Oh my God! Chase, Jesus Christ, what have you been eating, bro? And that's the way to win is...
No, this isn't Chase, this is bullshit.
Slowly fade to black.
Actually, you know what? You just say like that's it for the rest of the time.
Thanks, guys, for watching another episode of Fix My Game. We'll see you guys next time.
Fuck you.